Houston woman who works at a funeral parlor, she's an embalmer, right? You trust her with taking care of the body, the corpse after death. Families are entrusting the funeral home to make good decisions so that family members can have some kind of decency and respect after death, right? To embalm them in a dignified manner. Nah, not this woman. She went all out. She chopped off his private part. She cut it off. Come to find out, she found out the dude was actually a registered, one of those offenders. He was a predator. Supposedly, he was convicted of the R word. That's right. And she took it upon herself when she found this out to give him one final parting gift. That's right. She parted his private part from his body and put it in his mouth. Yeah. You think this is crazy? It is crazy. The Texas Funeral Board of Directors or the Texas Funeral or the Texas Embalming Board or whatever you call it, they decided to revoke the license, or they're probably going to revoke the license, not just suspend her. They should revoke the license, right? When she decided to chop old boy's parts off and put it in his mouth, that's when you lose your rights to be in any profession, and you also need to be charged criminally. Listen, I get it. Old boy was one of those bad people who did a bad thing, right? His conviction proved it. I don't know what his name is. They didn't reveal his name. But listen, there were eyewitnesses. She was actually training somebody. And when she found out that old boy was a SA, right? A R word, right? He did one of those things. She decided to take off his privates and put it in his mouth. And she told the person she was training, look, you ain't seen nothing. Nah, the person she was training was traumatized. She's like, nah, I can't go under with that. They threw a little towel over his groin area. They put a little towel over it. I don't know what they did with his private. Did they put his private back down there? Or did they leave it in his mouth and then put him into the embalmer where they burned his body into ashes? He got burned up with his thing in his mouth. This is crazy, right? Texas says, though this is rare and mutilation of corpses is very rare, they hadn't had somebody mutilate a corpse that was reported to the Texas authorities in over 2 years, is from what I'm reading. But allegedly, the woman's name is Amber Laudermilk. That's right, Amber Laudermilk, M-I-L-K. That's her name, right? She had been working for the cremation services since 2021. And I guess she took it personal when she found out what he did. And when she found out what he did, she felt like, hey, look, whatever the consequences he had on this earth wasn't enough. And she was going to give him a little parting gift. That's right. Here, taste your own private part. Crazy, man. Go look this stuff up. It's all over the news. I'm sure every prison channel is going to be talking about it. I literally just 10 minutes ago saw the news feed come across and I said, hey, look, I want to get this out there now. I want to talk about it. I want to see what you think. Do you think Amber did the right thing by chopping the dude's private off and putting it in his mouth? Do you think she did the right thing considering what he was convicted of and what she found out? I guess somehow or another, they get to research the people that they're embalming or burying or preparing for the services. So they looked their names up. So apparently she looked the name. I don't know how she came across it, but she found out that he had one of those sick charges, right? And so she was apparently repulsed by it. So she wanted, not before she chopped it off, she stabbed him twice in it. Bang, bang, jig, jig, shank, shank. Twice in it while her trainee was looking and like, dang, what's going on here? I don't know what her trainee was thinking. I'm sure we'll get more information as this uncovers. I couldn't find an image of her online, but I'm sure by the end of today or the end of tomorrow, people are going to start digging and they'll find her Facebook page or whatever and find images of her and she'll be flashed across everywhere. But she's obviously going to get arrested. Do you think she should get arrested? I mean, the police department and the authorities can't not arrest her because if they don't, they're setting precedent that depending on what the person did who is now deceased, you can mutilate their corpses if you don't agree with the way they lived. You see, that's a slippery slope. Even if you disagree, and listen, I don't know what he did. I never read the transcripts, but even if he did do that and he was the worst monster, the worst monsters, in a Western society, in a free society, in a civilized society, we can't allow that to happen because then it's up for debate on who shouldn't or should not be mutilated upon death once they die, how we treat their bodies. Listen, even after life, a person still should be showed some form of dignity no matter how they lived on this earth. And their loved ones have a right to send them off to wherever they're going, whether it's heaven or hell, because I don't think you're going no place else. There ain't no wandering place. You're going to heaven or you're going to hell. So wherever he went, he was gone anyway. But she still took it upon herself to enact some form of vigilante justice by chopping off old boy's private. She took it all off, from what I understand. She took off the meat part and she took off the sack part, and she just chopped it off and she put it in his mouth. And that's it. And I guess, I don't know what it did. I can imagine how that is. I'm assuming there wasn't no goriness with fluids and all that because the body, I'm assuming, is already drained. I don't know how that works. I don't know nothing about this. But either way, it's kind of brutal that she did that. And it just goes to show you where her mind was. Now, maybe something happened. This is my thing. If she did that, then maybe something happened to her when she was young. Or maybe she was also a victim of one of those most horrible offenses, right? Could be, right? I'm sure we'll find out more. But what say you? Do you think Amber is justified in what she did? Or do you think she should get a pass? Do you think they should not arrest her, that losing her license is enough? Do you think she should just get a suspension? Do you think the jury is going to find some kind of soft spot in their heart to not convict her? Or maybe the judge says, hey, look, let's let you plea out. Maybe her attorney says, hey, look, let's just get her for the least amount of time that we can, such as probation or misdemeanor or something. I don't know what's going to happen. But don't you think, even if the person who's laying on that table, the man who was now deceased, deserved some form of respect, and that his family still loved him, right? No matter what he did. Obviously, now they're probably going to file a lawsuit. I would, wouldn't you? If that was my family member. And they rightfully should file a lawsuit. And they actually have a good case. So now all she did was help his family out, right? She helped him out in the end. He probably didn't leave nothing to him because I don't know what kind of life he lived after being convicted and charged of what he was charged of. That was so disgusting that she had to snipe him, snip him, clip him, and put in his mouth. And I don't know if she put it back down there, but they said they put a towel over it, or she burned him inside the crematory. When she put him in the fire, was it still in his mouth? Was it down low? I don't know. Did she put it in a jar? I don't know what happened. This is some crazy stuff. But this is the world we live in, man. You got to keep your faculties, even if you don't agree with people. You can't start reacting in crazy ways. Listen, I'm a reactive person. That's what made me get in trouble in life. When I get in fights in prison and fights in the free world and all that. But I had to learn self-control. She needs a self-control. She shouldn't have that job if she's going to be mutilating corpses, no matter what the person did. We can't set precedents and go down that road in a free, civilized society. Again, disagree with me, share in the comments. What do you think? Do you think this woman should get charged, or they should kind of turn a blind eye to it? And if they turn a blind eye to it, where do we stop? Anyway, give me a like and subscribe. Bam, to the Pen and the Shank. That's right. You see it right there. I was recently on a podcast and I got this hat for the podcast, Pen and the Shank. Give me a like and subscribe. Go check it out. You know what? Thanks. Let's get it. Go check out that podcast I was talking about where I just showed you the Pen and the Shank hat at. It's called Eric's ADHD Experience. I'm going to leave it down in the description. Go check it out. It was my first ever interview on a podcast. Pen and the Shank. We talk about prison stuff and some crazy stories. Go check it out. Thanks. Give Eric a like and subscribe. Eric's ADHD Experience.